CZ single action only, shooting 15 rounds of garbage ammo from Academy, whatever it's called. So, take it. They look good. All right, 7 yards. I had one flyer here. Otherwise, there's 14 bullets. Same hole. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Today I am very excited to bring to you maybe the best gun I've ever shot, and that is the CZ Shadow 2 single action only version. A gun that I am just very excited to have my hands on. I've read about these forever, been wanting to shoot one. Finally had the opportunity, and now I thought I'd take a close-up look at this with you guys. Hopefully you saw in the range footage, this is a wonderful shooter that makes an average guy like me look pretty good at the range. So very happy with how this gun shoots, and I'm very excited to take a look at this gun with you guys. As always, appreciate you stopping by, and would love to hear your feedback if you have thoughts on the Shadow 2, especially the single action only version, because I think those are pretty uncommon, and this trigger is really special. So this gun is not in production currently in 2025. It was a very limited run in CZ's history. The original Shadow 2 launched in 2016 as a double action, single action only firearm. But in 2020, they introduced this single action only version, and it ran until 2023, I believe, and then went out of production. So again, it looks very much like a CZ Shadow 2 double action, single action, but without the differences that I know of. The easiest way to note is the SA on the slide here, but also the matching color slide and trigger for single action only. I believe the double action only versions have a black or stainless trigger versus the matching trigger. So that is the way I believe you tell them apart. Otherwise, they look very similar. And what is this thing? It's a big old heavy gun. It's an evolution of the CZ75, which came out 50 years ago, and has evolved into near perfection with this, I think. It's a single action only hammer fired 9mm gun that weighs a ton, 46.5 ounces. It's got a 4.9 inch barrel, and it's 8.5 inches wide overall. Capacity on this guy is 17 rounds, and I don't know, I believe it's probably interchangeable with the standard CZ75. I'll try to do a side-by-side comparison one day and look at those two next to each other. But again, just a beautiful gun that is an absolute joy to shoot. And we'll take a walk around it. And again, please sound off with your feedback on the firearm. Up top, you can see you have the anti-glare serrations to help with shooting outside. You've got your adjustable rear sight there for windage and elevation. And the front post is a red fiber optic, which I can't get my camera to focus. You can see right there. Up front, you have a one slot pick rail, which seems very odd to me with all the room you have here on this very long slide. Still very sleek looking. You have front and rear cocking serrations, so it is easier to do press checks. CZ75s don't always have the most room to grab up here, and these are very functional, very easy to get a hold of. And you also have the rears here. This version is not optics ready, of course. And it does have an ambi safety. You have a small size safety here. On the other side, you have a bit of a thumb rest safety, which is much bigger for righties. Don't have that on the left-hand side. I bet with all the options that CZ makes, they may make one for lefties as well. I don't know. Takedown levers on this side. And you do have the call-outs of the CZ Shadow 2 single action only with the CZ logo there. These are made in the Czech Republic, again with the CZ logo. This side have the U.S. headquarters as well as their serial number on the barrel, slide, and frame, so they all match. And here's the back side of your takedown lever. Again, you have, continuing around the front a little bit, you have some texture for those wrappers of the trigger guard. A nice big undercut here. This thing just absolutely plants in your hand. It just feels incredible. Now, if I had one knock on this firearm, I don't love the color grips, but the good news is CZ makes every color under the rainbow. You can replace these if you want to, but I don't know how you replace the trigger with this color, so it may look weird with a different color trigger and the different color grips on here. So if you want to customize it, that would be the only thing that could be tricky, is how do you get the trigger to match the grips. I'm leaving it just like it is though, because again, while it's not my favorite color, I think it works well and it shoots perfect like it is, so I'm not changing anything. Here you can see a close-up of those grips, as well as the front checkering, which is pretty intense. Again, feels very, very grippy. Same checkering on the back. So again, this thing absolutely plants in your hands. I've read this has about 2.5 pound trigger. We'll look at that in a second. I should also mention on this side, the super, super oversized mag release. You can see how that sticks out there. Pretty easy to actuate. And here's your standard 17 round mag. Now, again, the safety does work when the trigger's back. You can see nothing happens there. And then in single action, again, oops, was cocked. In single action, nothing happens. I had it half cocked, it looks like, and we'll release. So single action, nothing. Once the firearm is cocked, the trigger has, that's your take up. You're at a wall, that is it. There's just that much movement, and then this thing breaks super clean. But the real beauty of it is this reset. Again, this is the factory tuned version. Boom, that was it. And you're right back at the wall. An absolute killer trigger that is very easy to pull, and crazy short reset that is very easy to get 2 shots off if you're not careful. So it's easy to get too excited and shoot too quickly. So definitely not a duty gun, something you want to carry, but at the range, this thing is an absolute tack driver and a joy to shoot. I'll see if I can kind of take this thing apart. Hopefully it's a little stiff last time I did it, but to take these apart, you want to line up this notch and that line, and then push through on this piece back here. So I want to do that. I may have to go off camera just to get the way I want it. So I'll line these up. Sometimes I'll take the edge of the rubber guard, or the rubber base on the slide, on the magazine rather, and push through. There it goes. And you can see this pops out slightly. And again, this pulls right out and slides right off the front. And inside this beauty, look at the craftsmanship. Again, this thing feels like $1 million in your hands. I love the weight of an all steel gun. Up front, you can see the recoil system here, the guide rod. And it's captured in there, it doesn't come out. And then here is your 4.9 inch barrel. And then inside the slide, again, fantastic machining. So I'll also say that if you put this thing on the rails, you have 4 rails and CZ's inverted rail system. You can see that the rail rides inside the slide and kind of gives you just a lower amount of mass coming backwards. Not lower bore axis necessarily, just a little bit less mass coming back at you. This thing just rides on there like rails. I've been to Nighthawk, and I don't know if they feel as slick as this for a custom-made 1911 as these do on the rails. An absolute just perfect machine. So I am obviously very excited about this fantastic firearm. I hope to do a few more videos on it while I have it. I hope to actually pick it up because this is from a friend. I'm doing everything in my power to buy it from him because this is the best thing that I think I've ever shot so far. I would love to hear from you guys though. What are your thoughts on the Shadow 2, the whole series, the single action only maybe, whatever you want to talk about. I would love to hear your feedback because I love HEK, I love SIG, but boy, I don't know if I've shot anything that shoots as good as this Shadow 2 does. It's just a fantastic gun that is obviously really greased up as well. So I need to wash my hands. But and check reassembly. That's it. My CZ Shadow 2 single action only. Fantastic firearm. Thank you so much for watching, and please sound off in the comments and consider subscribing or sharing or tell your friends about it. I'm trying to grow my viewership. So thanks again.